start it off?
3 claps?
No.
No, 1 clap?
The one clap.
It was 1 clap. It was 1
It
clap.
was 2 weeks ago. You guys
Oh my God.
Ready?
Man, a lot
We've
has
lived a
happened in
whole
2 weeks,
lifetime
man.
2 weeks ago.
4,
3, 2,
1.
Oh my God, I messed it up.
Yes, it was something like that. 5, 4.
Dude, you gotta count down again.
5,
What's in your
4,
coat, man?
3, 2.
Hey.
What's going on, guys? We tried really hard to make sure that intro was good for you.
Oh my God.
It may have not have worked, but this is the Dreamer Cigars podcast. As always, I'm your host, Adam Guard, a.k.a. AG the Dreamer.
And I'm your co-host, Logan Hamilton, a.k.a. Hambone.
And you're here today.
And I'm here today, thank God. I'm very happy to be
God.
back on the podcast.
Lord.
I was very sad to have missed the first episode with you guys.
Right.
We still we have Violaine, right?
Violaine.
I couldn't pronounce her name the
Yes.
first. Violaine and
It's
Darius.
like
Yeah,
That's why we just go with V. That's it. I don't mess with it.
Yeah.
I just say, hey V, that's it.
smart for that.
Bingo.
But I'm very excited to be on the podcast with you guys. Very sad that I missed the last one. I was sick, so Hambone's back at it. But let's get into it. What are we smoking today, Adam?
Today we are smoking the Arowa, the first 20 years series. So this cigar, and we talked about this cigar a little bit off camera. Neither of you have had this cigar before, correct?
No.
So
Neither
this
have I.
cigar, and I would recommend, I see, I'm the only, well, Logan has a cutter too. I would
Smells good.
recommend a straight cut on this size cigar. Hambone, you can do the V cut, and maybe we'll see some differences in how it smokes.
I'll let you know.
But the backside there has a straight cut. And the reason I recommend a straight cut on this is because it is a smaller ring gauge cigar. So the V cut can sometimes overwhelm it can overwhelm the cigar if it's a smaller cigar, smaller ring gauge. But with this cigar from Arowa, it is the first, well, besides the Cuban, it is the first Puro we have had on the podcast. Do you guys know what a Puro is? Mm-hmm. Bingo. See, they know what they're talking about.
I don't know what a Puro is.
Oh, Hambone. Bingo.
Hambone's
Everybody's
beginner.
gonna learn something.
Educate us.
Bingo. This is a Honduran Puro, which means the binder, wrapper, and filler are all from Honduras. So that's what we're going to be trying today with this cigar. As we go ahead, feel free to light it up. There's the lighter, Darius. As we light it up, it is a full-bodied cigar. So this is one that, for beginners, if you are going to want to try this, you're going to want to have a big meal beforehand. You may feel those effects a little bit more than your average cigar. But an interesting thing about this cigar, Hambone, the binder and filler of this cigar hasn't been used
That's
for the
good.
past 50 years, the specific blend. 50 years.
It hasn't been used.
Yeah, the binder and filler blend, not the tobacco.
Oh, the blend.
The
okay.
blend hasn't been used for 50 years. At least that's what Christian, Arowa, and all of you guys can correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe that's the way I took it. So it's going to be a complex cigar that is kind of rare. So today we're going to get some dark chocolate out of the cigar. We're going to get a little espresso, which I have had this cigar before. I get the espresso more than anything myself.
And y'all had the espresso martini on the last episode with y'all, right?
Correct.
Yes, we did.
Sad I missed that one because it paired beautifully, I bet.
It did. It was brilliant. It was really lovely. Now, Adam, may I ask, do we know why this is not been produced or used in the past 50 years? Is that a great mystery?
It's a mystery to me.
Okay.
We may have to ask Mr. Arowa himself someday and see what the mystery is, or maybe I'm sure it's out there.
Okay.
I mean, there's a lot of cigar
I might have to
fanatics
look
that
at
love
it
those. You know,
because I love to know things
Yeah.
like that. I love to know things like that. I think it just makes the smoke that much better for you to know what it is,
and
the history
to really
behind
appreciate
it. Right.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
100% agree. So,
Is it just dark chocolate?
well, I was about to say there's one that was throwing me off, and that's why I had to take a pause because I was like, I think that may have been a typo, but it's not. Baking spices.
That could be a lot of different things.
Notice the pause. That may be a stretch in my opinion.
I don't know if it's baking spices. It's a bit of a tart but spicy. It's an odd taste. It's one that I'm not really familiar with. Not odd in a bad way, but just odd, like, what is this? I have not tasted that before. It's like it's new to my palate. It's new to me.
Same here.
So
and then the end of it is nuts, earth, and leather, which I think maybe given that nuts, I think that may have been where you were going with
definitely
that
nuts
flavor. But we'll see what we get as we smoke it a little bit more and pair it.
It's really good.
We were pairing it with a little whistle pig.
This is yes. Okay,
Some whistle pig on the box.
I honestly didn't know what we were pairing it with.
Bingo.
Until right now.
I love that you're paying attention.
I love whistle pigs.
I wanted to be surprised, okay?
Whistle pig is awesome. You can't fail.
I love whistle pig.
No.
You can't. There's no
I
way.
haven't paired it with a cigar. Have you paired whistle pig with a cigar?
No, I haven't actually.
I haven't paired it with a cigar.
Look at her face.
Yeah, she's like, are you kidding me?
I thought we were going to
drink
have
my
a whole
Colin all
group
the
of
time.
people who have never paired a cigar with whistle pig, but
wait,
Violaine, no, I've definitely
She's stunned over
done
there.
this before.
It's like, how the hell have you not paired a cigar?
To my credit, gentlemen, I drink a lot, so
Is that to your credit? Is that the way we should phrase that?
literally is to my credit. So I'm well versed in a lot
Darius
of.
looks like he may disagree.
No, I totally agree.
Darius is like, yeah.
It's like borderline.
He pays for a lot of the tabs, so he knows.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Enough
so
said, right?
yeah, so I've paired quite a good amount of stuff with different cigars. So.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's good.
I think I'm getting that leather, which I know we've joked about, we've talked about
The wallets.
the when's the last time you guys ate some leather to make sure you kept your palate up to date?
You know, it's been a few years.
Darius is really thinking
I
about
was like,
He's like, a couple weeks ago, maybe?
did he say leather?
He was thinking I was serious. I love that. He was like, man, do like crazy cigar people eat leather? He was thinking about it. He's like,
I'm
it's
not
a
at
new
that
one.
level.
Yeah, like this is a new one for me.
Dreamer
Like,
Cigars is getting weird.
look, we're serious about it. We eat leather. Sometimes if we're not getting everything that's out of cigars, we'll just take some dirt. Sometimes we'll run our mouth.
We'll bring a cabinet around with us.
Bro,
Some cedar cabinets.
Cedar
You ever take a
cabinets.
bite out of your-
Oh, yeah.
Take a
I
bite out
can't
of
with you
that
guys.
humidor.
I can't with you
Good
guys.
stuff.
Today. I can't.
Oh, yeah.
When we smoke, we're not one of those smokers who are like, what do you taste? What do you get out of this?
Right.
We sit there, we're like, ooh, this is nice.
And-
This is good.
And then on a 100% serious note, that's 99.9% of smokers.
Right.
Yeah.
If you're a newbie and you're like, man, I get cigar out of this.
Yeah.
I get tobacco.
Then
and
that's
this is
fantastic.
strong, or this is light, or this
Right.
is about to kill me.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, we don't want that. But
Well, no, sometimes a cigar, you might go, oh man, this is a lot.
yes, absolutely.
Am I getting drunk off this cigar? Am I getting a high? Like, no, some cigars do that
They
to
do.
you, depending on your level of knowledge, what you're smoking. If you have not had something to eat, if you're dehydrated, a
True.
cigar will impact your body differently.
Absolutely.
For sure.
100%. And this cigar is a more full-bodied cigar, but I'm not getting that. Wow. Okay. This is gonna hit me.
Not at all.
Yeah, it's pretty
Not at
smooth,
all.
actually.
Pretty smooth.
Very smooth.
And,
I like it a lot. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
So far it's pretty good.
So
Well,
this is good.
I got to ask you guys a lot of questions last time, and we're gonna take a little bit of a different spin, but I'm gonna let Hambone ask some questions here at the beginning. So we'll see what he's got.
yeah, so obviously I didn't get to be on the first episode with y'all, so naturally I had to watch it 20,000 times to really get the feel for how today is going to go.
He was really just trying to hack our views.
Did you see how it got 20,005 views? 20,000 is me.
This guy
I
right
wish.
here.
Not really, but
That would have been dedication, It didn't happen.
Yeah,
never know.
dedication.
So, in that effect, I was curious. I saw the questions that Adam asked last time, and I saw a lot of your answers, and I thought it was very fascinating, the process and the origin story of the Atlanta Cigar Crawl, how y'all came to be and everything. So I want to start off with a question I've had on my mind since I went on the first crawl, and I have some interesting stories that wasn't on the last episode of my first time and my second time on the Atlanta Cigar Crawl, which just were incredible. Absolutely incredible.
Absolutely.
Everyone out there, once again, you guys gotta go on the Atlanta Cigar Crawl. If you're out of town, come in town for the Atlanta Cigar Crawl. You will not regret it.
What did we say
promise
last
you.
time?
A weekend it's your best bet.
We said like a 54-hour flight was worth it.
Yeah,
54 hours. That's the max, 54 hours.
Yeah.
If the flight takes longer than that, guys, stay home.
Yeah, you're fine.
Oh my gosh.
Anything below that, if you don't come, we hit you. No, it's
That's hilarious. So I wanted to kind of start off with a deeper question. I'm curious, what has a big struggle been for you guys? This is a startup. You guys have really built this thing from the ground up, which I think is absolutely incredible to see where it is today. But what's a big struggle that you guys have gone through, and how did you overcome that?
Oh man, I think just getting the word out there and getting people to actually trust what we do, because as you guys know, we don't tell you where you're going.
That's a good point. That's a good
You don't
point.
know where you're
It is a
going.
They give
confusing
hints.
thing sometimes as the consumer.
They give fun hints along the way on the party bus. They do give fun hints, which is really fun to guess.
Which is really no one ever really gets
But
that.
you know you're going to cigar lounges.
Right,
Yes.
that is correct.
You're not going to other places, so you know you're in a safe spot.
You do know you're safe,
But yeah, you know,
at least where you're going
It's
is
just
safe.
how
The party
safe
bus-
are we?
the party
Yeah.
bus may not be safe.
No, we make no guarantees.
No, but yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Trying to get the word out there. Like I
Yeah.
feel like any business that's just starting off, that's a huge thing. It's like, hey, this is us. We're here.
Yeah.
We're a thing. Please give us your money.
Right.
Yeah.
And people
We
wanna know,
have something that you want.
where
I
are we going?
promise.
Where are we going? I can't tell you. Like, you want me to pay, but you're not going to tell me where I'm going?
right.
That actually makes a lot of sense because, like, I can say I've never gone on Amazon and bought something where I'm like, I don't know what I'm getting. They should do that. They should sell random things. on
This is
Amazon.
different. It's a cigar crawl, so it's a little different.
I'm just kidding. That was an extreme example, but that was. But,
So wait, so what was it then? Like, what was that asset that really got the word out there?
Well, basically word of mouth.
Yeah.
Like, I know on our first crawl, the people were so happy and they had such a great time and didn't want to go
really
home. That just spread the word. They were like, guys, you got to go on this thing. And then people
We
kept
didn't
coming.
go home.
People kept coming.
we talked about it.
Didn't want to go home, but just word of the mouth, and like when you have a great product, people are gonna talk about it, and so that's been a big for us because people have been spreading the word and telling this friend like, hey, you got to go on this, and you got to go on this, you got to try these guys out.
Yeah.
It's a great time, and so basically it's just building that trust with people believing in our brand and wanting to experience it.
Yeah.
Couldn't agree more. And I definitely was not aware of what you were doing to me, but I was the word of mouth guy. I was on the first one and I was telling everybody we gotta go. That's how he goes.
That's how I got there.
That's how he came.
Yeah, and then I spread it through word of mouth. I told everyone I knew, you gotta try this.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I think, and I should also add, we have a lot of I don't know if I'll say pushback, but a lot of people are like, oh my God, this is a lot of money. So that's been a struggle trying to stay with, no, this is what we charge. There's a lot that goes on behind the scene to get this together.
Yes,
and
yes.
believe it or not, we do not make a profit off of this. Like everything goes into the crawl. The small details, the planning, the cards, the printing, the time. Like there's so much that goes into it. The decor, because we never want you to just walk in and just not have something. We try to create a different environment everywhere you go. The champagne on the bus, just like all these things. It's like, well, no, we can't waver. And that's been a struggle. We've discussed a lot of times, should we go down on the price? It's like, no, then it's not going to be the product that we want to put out.
Yeah.
Right.
So it's like, no, the people that we are going to attract, we're going to attract. If that price, that fee is an issue, then perhaps we just, it's not for you yet.
So I'll be honest with you. I actually am not fazed by the price. I think the price exceeds what experience you get.
Well, you've had the experience.
You've had the experience. It's
So,
different.
Nobody afterwards is like, that was not.
No, exactly.
Oh, never.
Afterwards,
Right.
you could, and that's how we've retained. I would say every single crawl, we have at least 10 regulars
That is true.
that have not missed it from day
You're gonna have to get a bigger party.
one.
Look,
And people
I
keep
only
saying
missed
that
one.
too.
Look, I'm sorry.
That is true. You missed one for a good reason, though.
But yours, that is acceptable.
Let's go ahead and get-
Teresa, I love you. You know I love you. But I'm never
We
missing
love
another.
Teresa.
I'm never missing another.
No, we love Teresa.
Most
So
definitely.
Wedding day, crawl.
We already bachelor party call. Oh, did I? Never mind.
Are you guys? Don't inhale
Oh, man.
your cigar.
Well, no, that makes a whole lot of sense. And, you know, guys, in case you are sitting here like, wait, what is the Atlanta Cigar Crawl? Go over really brief. We did it on the last episode, so hopefully you watched that one or listened to it. But give them like a really short synopsis of what the Atlanta Cigar Crawl is, what we do, or what you guys do. So anybody who may have not watched or listened to the first episode, they're like, man, what? Okay, this sounds fantastic, and they have struggles, but what? I don't know what it is. I want to do it. So give it a little.
So, Atlanta Cigar Crawl, we afford you the opportunity to visit 3 cigar lounges you have not had a chance, or perhaps you visited, but you just want to go back to. We literally expose you to just different cigar environments. There may not always be cigar lounges. It'll be cigar-friendly environments. We usually starts from 5:30 till about midnight, an hour of welcome reception, and then you get on a luxury bus, and we transport you to 3 amazing cigar lounges with 30 of the closest people you'll get to know after. By midnight, you guys are BFFs.
Oh, yeah.
And you
No
are
doubt.
exchanging numbers and
No doubt.
Victim,
Yes.
victim.
Right? Yep. Right
Yes.
here. I'm a victim of that.
Yes.
So I mean, how many have you had so far?
we've had 3 crawls so
Three.
far.
Three so
Yes.
far.
So I
Yes.
was not on the first, and then that's when Adam told me about it. I was like,
Yes.
dude, you gotta try this. And I was on the second and the third, the last 2. And first of all, I told everyone I possibly could because it was that amazing. And secondly, I went to cigar lounges in all over Atlanta that I've never been to before. And
Yes.
I've been to actually a few because of the Cigar Crawl that I've never even heard of.
Yes.
And that was an interesting experience for me because I've been a cigar smoker for a little while now. And to experience that and to really, delve into Atlanta a little bit more in the cigar industry was really fascinating to me. And I had a much better appreciation after the first cigar crawl I went on because of that.
yeah.
I really appreciated you guys for what you're doing because of the experience that I had. And that's why the money was really of no concern. Like, honestly, I think it should cost more because I think the experience, the people, the atmosphere, like the places you go, the cigars you smoke, the conversations you have, the fun you have, it outweighs it all.
It's worth every penny.
It's worth every penny. And I definitely have more of an appreciation for it.
And we've heard that, and thank you for sharing that because we have heard that before. And it's a struggle, we're like, no, we're not ready. We don't feel like we've got the audience yet that we want, that requires, of us to raise our fees. We will get there because eventually we have to make some profit off of this. But right now it's just been, all right, well, let's expose people. Let the product speak for itself. Before we actually start raising prices. Soon enough, it's going to be, oh no, that's fine. Soon enough, once we build that rapport, with the right audience, it's going to be that, no one's going to question it because eventually we are going to have that niche that we are trying to secure.
It makes a lot of sense. And I think and you guys are, you're in a fun industry, in the tobacco industry, the cigar industry. It's a crawl, it's drinks, it's fantastic. But I think every single startup, I think people could probably get distracted by the fact that you're in such a fantastic, fun environment, all of this sort of stuff.
True.
Where they forget that you are a startup business.
Yes.
And that comes with a lot of struggles, that comes with a lot of pricing. Are we in the right? Are we too high? Are we too low? Should we charge more? Should we charge less? I think any startup business struggles with that tremendously. So it makes a lot of sense that you're in that same area of struggle. But I have to ask you, and I want this to be brief because we could probably talk about it for hours and hours and hours. But you're in the tobacco world. Like I said, you're starting a cigar business. Mm-hmm. Was there some thoughts before you started the business as far as legislation, taxes, like that are in the cigar tobacco realm of like, okay, maybe people, like some people are like anti-tobacco, some people are anti-cigars. Was that a thing in your head, or were you like, no, people love this. This is something we believe in.
Well, I think for us, we didn't look at that aspect because in Atlanta, like, there are a ton of cigar smokers.
Right.
And there's a ton of cigar lounges. And so we just wanted to definitely, like, put a product out there that's going to enlighten these different cigar lounges that carry a variety of different cigars, actually. And for us, it was just making sure that we had a product that our consumers would love and enjoy and be able to have fun with. Now, something along the way that I did learn is like social media platforms, they don't let you advertise certain things that have to do with some tobacco. And at one time I got banned from Facebook because I was like, what do you mean I can't?
TikTok, you guys know the struggle.
Yeah, he does. Adam knows what's real.
The struggle is real.
This week, right? I got almost 90,000 followers of people who appreciate my cigar content, my cigar education. I got banned from TikTok.
What?
I got it back. Appreciate you guys still being here.
Please, thank you.
Yeah, and so that's why I wanted to ask that question.
It's a struggle.
It's a struggle because people don't understand the differences of a cigar. But here's something that I'll say before we go into our ad break real quick is there is no
don't cut.
Darius is
an asshole.
I'm saying.
No, she's cocky now. She's gonna be an asshole.
Don't you dare! Don't you dare!
Anyways, what I was getting into was you don't see a high scale lounge like Cutters, like we're sitting in here for cigarette smokers just for cigarettes.
True.
They got their. You don't see that. They got their Lucky Strike. Oh, what do you do?
That cigarette lounge around the corner.
There's vape shops, but there's not high scale.
Right.
It's not
the
It's not
same.
a lifestyle.
Yeah.
It's not the same, and I think that's the disappointing thing as all of us as cigar people is it gets put in that same category.
True.
And it's not. And you
Totally
can't.
It's
different.
not. So it really is a bummer, but it's another tribute to cigars. We're gonna still press on, and hopefully eventually it separates. But it's a tribute to these lounges that are continuing to keep believing in cigars. Go out there, just even though the taxes are rough and all this sort of stuff is rough because people are trying to push against the tobacco industry in general. So I guess with all of that said, we'll have to take a quick break and see if we can knock Violain's ash off.
Good luck, gentlemen.
And hear from our sponsors, Cutters Cigar and Spirits.
What's going on, everyone? Today we're going to talk about Cutters Cigar and Spirits Lounge. This place is incredible. If you're ever in Alpharetta, come on over to Cutters. This place has it all. A beautiful humidor, a great atmosphere. Adam, what do you like most about Cutters?
I think my favorite thing is the humidor. You mentioned on a little bit. The humidor, guys, has all of the best cigars, especially Davidoff. It is a Davidoff appointed merchant. So make sure you're checking out the humidor if you're in town.
No doubt about it. What I love is the people. The people here are genuine. They love to have a good conversation, and you can't find these kinds of people anywhere else. So come on down to Cutters Cigar and Spirits Lounge whenever you get a chance, and follow them on all socials. And we're back.
I love it. So,
Hey guys, we're back.
I promise it was a really short break, but I don't know what's going on over here. So we were talking about the difference between cigars and other tobacco products. I think, Hamon, you had something to chime in about that?
Yeah, so I was kind of want to delve into the difference, the difference between cigars and, you got cigarette smokers, and there's a lot of people that, they don't really know the whole difference. So can you kind of speak to that a little bit?
Go ahead, V.
She looked at him. He's just like, no, go ahead, V.
It is. I talk too much. You know, I've had people ask me before, what do I prefer, cigars or cigarettes? And I'm always like, I have never smoked a cigarette a day in my life. This is what I have always smoked. I always say, you've never met someone, you know, you're sitting outside and somebody goes, oh my gosh, is that a great cigarette? You're smoking what cigarette? No.
Best smelling cigarette I've ever smelled.
They may say, I need to have one.
No, exactly.
But they may not, yeah.
But then with a cigar, I've been so many places.
In that cigarette?
Like, oh my gosh, I smell something amazing. Oh, actually, yes, it's this cigar. Blah, blah, blah. And I get a chance to educate 100%. Them. You don't get the chance to do a cigarette is a cigarette. There's not really an amazing history behind a cigarette.
Besides people making a lot of profit.
Exactly. That's about it. Profit and all these things.
Companies making a lot of
But then with a cigar, literally, by the time a cigar reaches your hand, your hand, you're actually smoking it, at least 50 different people, hands have touched your cigar.
There's such 200.
Right, depending on where the cigar was produced and how it was produced, from the way the tobacco was raised and the way the tobacco was aged, and the rolling, the wrapper, the choosing of the fillers. There's so much that goes into the cigar. You're not just smoking a thing. Right. It's not machine produced. There's just not a lot of things about, for me, I'm not a cigarette smoker, so I'm not really well versed on it. I'm well versed on cigars because this is where, I've spent a lot of time educating myself for the better part of the last 15 years of my life. Have been dedicated to smoking good cigars. So to me, it's not in day. You do not, if someone asks me, or thinks I'm a cigar smoker, I'm like, don't you ever.
Yeah.
I am not a cigarette smoker. Yeah. Cigars all the way.
I've never actually had a cigarette my entire life.
Yeah.
Right. And actually, I see two main differences in cigars to cigarettes, and the first is the filter. There's no filter in cigars.
True.
There's nothing.
It's the tobacco. There's nothing there. The filter is what causes cancer in cigarettes
right.
and all that bad stuff. Yeah. From what I've seen, and then the other one, the biggest thing, when you have a cigarette, this is what I've noticed from observing. You have a cigarette, you're like this. When you have a cigar.
Oh, you all relaxed.
You're like this.
Just like,
right.
And
we're going to do the rest of the podcast.
Oh, yeah. And with a cigar, you have the best damn conversation.
These are conversation starters, literally.
Yes.
Oh, my God. The environment around you, no matter where you are, like, your environment is created by the cigar. You know what I mean? Yeah, you can fall asleep over here.
With a cigar, you can't. And you can't rush a cigar. You can't rush that experience. No. Whereas a cigarette, I see people smoking outside all the time. Yeah. I have never seen a cigar smoker standing in a corner just hurrying up. No, you can't do that. There's not a cigar break per se. If you take...
I wish there was.
If I'm taking a cigar break, I may not come back in. It's not going to happen.
I'll see you in 2 hours.
Yeah, exactly. I'll see you because it takes a while.
I have actually a first-hand experience with this. This summer, I was in Hilton Head, South Carolina, right? On the beach with my family. My dad smokes cigars. My brother smokes cigars on occasion. And we've always had good conversations over them. So we're having a cigar out in this little gazebo. They have their designated smoking area, right? So we're in this gazebo having a great talk. Father, son. I mean, those moments that you live for, right?
Right.
And there was probably 3 or 4 groups of 1 or 2 people, right, that came out to smoke a cigarette and left. In and out, while during our one cigar.
Right.
So it's a first, it's a testament to it on its own. And, they were like, man, are those things good? Because they had never tried. And we're like, yeah, man, you want one? We got one. And they're like, no, I'm just going to be here for a quick second. I'm going to go back in. And it's like, is that enjoyable? Like, you have to come all the way. It's like having to go to the bathroom. Like, I gotta go and then I gotta go right back.
Yeah, there's no such thing as cigars.
It's at the end of the day too, though. It's a bummer. That's really where I end with it. Is if you guys are a cigarette smoker, we're not sitting here saying you're the worst person on the planet. We're saying try it.
Yeah,
just try it. Yeah. Don't inhale it. That's first thing I would say. But just try it. You know, it may surprise you. And I've actually known some people that try and get out, like they try and stop smoking cigarettes. And cigars were the reason they stopped.
Right.
So they smoke a cigar once every 2 months, and it kind of like fills that yearning, I guess.
Yeah. You gotta have a replacement. Like if you're, keep doing something with a habit for so long, you have to have a replacement, and then you can ease off of it. But well, switching gears real quick. I want to get into more of you guys when with the business, because you guys both have full-time jobs. As I heard on you guys talking about in the last episode, right?
Yes.
So how has that been with full-time jobs and then this as your second entity that you've been working on? Like, how has that come along in the process?
I'll have to personally say, like, I depend on her a lot because she has more, I guess, free time to do, in between these $1 million weddings that she's doing or whatnot. She has more free time. Rather than me, I'm at work. And so we find the time. We kind of divided up certain things that I do and certain things that she does. So like the posts that you see on a daily basis, we usually collaborate on those, but most of the time she's gonna post them and add her own little touch to it or whatnot. I usually modify the pictures or pick a certain picture there to go out or whatnot. And like she has a lot of time to work on our website and different things like that. And I work on the Instagram pages and different things like that. So we kind of divide it up depending on what time we have available. Yeah. And so it's not easy running a business and having a job. It's not easy. I hope one day that this become my full-time job. I would love to do something like this all day, every day. But in the meantime, like we basically have to stay organized and set times and dates, and because the hardest part for us is just making that time to go visit different cigar lounges, to vent them, experience the service, and then we got to put together the crawl and decide who's going to be first, second, or third, and it's a lot of work that goes into what we do, and we just have to make that time out. And sometimes it's like I tell her, like, I feel like I don't get a day off because when I'm off of my regular job, I'm with you doing the cigar crawl business. And so it's consistently a busy job.
I feel you on that. I think we both feel you on that because we have the exact same thing.
The podcast, we do
the same thing.
Events, and we try and connect with people. We're always trying to get out there, and it's 100%, and that it's a testament to your dedication to the business.
Definitely.
Right? Because it would not be there if, you said, well, I'm tired today.
Right.
You need the time.
So
you put the time in.
And I'm going home. And
that's awesome.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So that's the goal then.
Yeah.
So the goal, would you say the goal is, one of your big goals is to leave your current main jobs to kind of do this more full time?
I think all of us want to do something we enjoy and love full time.
100%.
I think all of us just wants to be able to do something that we love and we're happy and that doesn't take up all of our time. And away from, the main things that I point, like our family and spouses and things like that. So, it's worth it. And you got to put the work in. You got to make those sacrifices now to be able to enjoy the time later, And so that's what we're working towards.
Love that. Would you say that, Violaine, that's kind of a similar vision for you?
It is. It absolutely is. I mean, my job, again, is so amazing. I do have more free time than he does, that I can, usually take a break, except, when I'm traveling, then life becomes, when I was traveling, I was like, no, just the amount of time he's accustomed to me having, I no longer had it. And we had to split. And it's a lot of, well, you said I'm deadline driven. If you tell me by 10 o'clock this day, by 9:30, I'm sitting there like, okay, so I'm ready. Whereas his world is different.
That's a great quality to have.
Oh man,
that's a great
it is
quality.
Also suck when the person who's dealing with you.
Darius, for our listeners, Darius is wide-eyed staring at the table right now.
And what you're not gonna do is tell tell me you're going to do something and you don't do it.
Yep.
Oh no, that's not going to happen. I'm like, we've got deadlines to meet, and by God, these deadlines will be met. So it's, you know what, we balance each other out in that aspect. And I feel that, yeah, but eventually, definitely, I would love to see, that we are doing these on a consistent basis, not just once a month, once a week, twice a week. Like, we've got different plans we would like to see come into fruition, but it's just, I think it's going to take a while to get, just like any other business, it's just going to take some time to get there. Right. But we've got a bigger picture in our head of how we want this to. And if it's not going to come to the way we want it, we're going to stop. Like, there is no bargaining. There's no middle ground. It is all or nothing, because this product is how we want it to be. And by God, that's awesome. The way we're going to stick to it.
That is a awesome, I don't even know the word to say. It's an awesome. Yeah. We've said the same thing. Our podcast will be X.
Exactly.
It will reach this level, and if it doesn't, then this is the product we want to deliver. It's
right.
That's what I told you from the beginning.
Yeah, absolutely.
You don't want a watered down version of what you want. You don't want it. You don't want to look back and go,
conviction is
but this is not what I want. You want to be, what you had in mind, what is in your brain, and how you could be different. What you want to deliver, and you want to be able to deliver it. And if you feel like you're going in halfway, by any means, do not go halfway. Right. Either stop where you feel like you can't do it anymore, or that's it.
Speak to the.
I am really glad. Yes, I am really glad we had you guys on, especially the second time, and especially with me. Thanks, guys, for coming back, so I could be on the podcast.
First time was better.
Yeah, whatever. I don't know. I hope Adam's mic is muted on that one.
John, it's okay. You can mute it.
But in all seriousness, let's say we saw a vision.
Right.
And we said, this is all or nothing. We're not going to half-ass anything.
Right.
And now we're doing it. We're really doing it. And we're making the best of every opportunity and every moment that we can.
Right.
With this.
Got to.
That's awesome.
You've got to.
Yeah. I can't say enough, and I just took my band off, but this is not a huge cigar, and honestly, I'm feeling a little heat.
Oh no.
This is oh no. Oh no.
What are we gonna do?
I'm feeling a little heat, so we have to go to the finger burning questions. So we're gonna make this. Oh boy, we're gonna make this nice and quick because we know you guys have had some finger burning questions already before. So I'm gonna do one, and then my
what?
Co-host.
Yeah. What were you about to call me?
My co-host there is going to do another one. So
he's about to call me
the first question I have, and I know this is a hard one. Okay. Try and keep it quick. What is your favorite childhood memory? Yeah.
Oh man.
Oh yeah. That'll get you. That'll get you to think. That'll get you to think.
Their subconsciouses are going crazy.
Oh yeah.
Right now.
Violane's just really happy that we're almost to the end of the episode because she's not Nashville yet.
Oh no.
Yeah. All right, Darius, you got something.
I'll say for me, my favorite childhood memory, because I'm from Opelika, Alabama. I'm from.
Nice.
I grew up on a big farm, and just growing up at that age, and all my cousins were boys. So every summer they come over and we play baseball, football, basketball. Yeah. The whole summer, and that was just some of the best times, just hanging out and riding bikes. And so like we are out in the pasture and running behind cows and different things like that. But it was just a great time because we were carefree and just having fun.
Pure fun.
So you were a different version of the Sandlot.
Right.
you were the
country version of the Sandlot.
The country version.
I'm glad y'all have seen that.
They should have made a country version. But anyways, Violaine, what about you? Yeah.
I think my favorite would be, so I grew up in Haiti. Yep. And I moved to the States when I was 9. I think I was about maybe 7, and my dad was huge in politics in Haiti. And I got to meet our Haitian president, Jean-Claude Duvalier, and I was about 7. And my dad and my little brother, Ricardo, and I think that would I think that would be my favorite.
That is really, really cool. I know that we don't have time to talk about it today, but I know that you really do take pride in those Haitian roots. That is really cool.
Dang,
that is awesome.
Adam, I'm curious now.
I know.
I have so many questions now.
Your fingers are burning. Your fingers are burning.
Well, if you want to hear more about that, get onto our TikTok or the Atlanta Cigar Crawl Instagram, and you can stay live while we talk a little bit more about that stuff. Second finger burning question.
Well, we've done this one. I feel like
we're gonna hit the randomizer.
We're gonna hit one. We're gonna hit. No, I asked that one last time, so we gotta make sure we don't ask it again.
Yeah, we don't.
Because you've already had some.
Oh, okay, I like this one.
All right, that's fine. Yep.
Yeah, this is a good one. Question to both of you again: who was your hero or your idol growing up, and why?
We're going the childhood route.
Yeah, we are.
It's the dream. Like, you know,
it is the dream. Like that's where the dream starts.
Love that.
For me, everything I feel like is always going to revert back to my dad.
That is awesome.
Because I was, my dad passed in 2001, and he was just the epitome of what a wonderful dad should be. Mm-hmm. And I separated with him when I was 9 because of circumstances in Haiti and all that stuff. But I feel like that was always my hero, was always one of the great, for me, I always credit who I am today. I think the last time I said, my dad, if I could smoke, if I with him, but though he'd be like, what do you mean you're smoking? But at the same time, he shaped me in a way to be who I am, was always encouraging of me being myself and not trying to follow the crowd. And by God, I do not follow the crowd on anything that I do in my life. I am my own person.
She follows the crawl.
The crawl,
she doesn't follow the schedule because
no, I do not. And I get in trouble for it all the time.
All right, Darius, what about you?
I guess growing up, who I admired the most had to be my grandfather. Because he had 6 kids. He sent 4 of them to college, the other 2 went into the military.
Wow.
And he maintained this large farm, and we planted corn, we planted butter beans, squash, peas, we planted everything, hogs, cows, horses, we had it all. And then at the same time, he was a plasterer. And so he traveled up and down the East Coast. He got to meet Langston Hughes, Bethune-Cookman.
Wow.
I've met some football coaches because they hired him to come work at and do plastering at his house. And he did all of that while maintaining a family, and everybody became successful. And I just really admired that he was able to maintain all of those things, and I really looked up to him for that. He was well known throughout the community because, we're in the country or whatnot, and so employment wasn't that good amongst the people at that time, and so they all knew that they could go to him for money or for food or for a job or whatnot, and he would put them to work, and people loved that, and so I definitely admired him because he was a pillar of the community, a great, upstanding guy, and a good father, and so I definitely patted myself after him.
I love that.
Man, I feel like we could go a whole nother podcast. I feel like just off these 2 finger burning questions, we could do
this. Cigar Crawl on a 3rd time. Oh my God.
We have to have John on next time.
Add another member of the team.
Yeah. I really, it is really awesome. And I think both of those answers to both finger burning questions are really a testament to you guys, a testament to who you are, and I think that transitions into the business that you create. Who you are always comes out, is reflected in the business that you create, and I think that's why the product, like Logan and I are so obsessed with the product that you've created, because it's you guys.
Yes.
It's any dreamer out there. You guys start your own business, you guys start your own little venture, whatever it is. Your personality, your passion will always come out in it. And, Violaine, you talk about the details. Details. Like, it always comes out who you are in your business itself. And I think that's a testament to how so many people love the product that you guys have. So many people, will obviously be entertained. I mean, so many people have already seen you guys, heard you guys on our podcast, and they'll hear you again on this episode. So thank you so much for coming on again. I know it was a little bit of a stretch today getting here, so we really appreciate the effort, and I think our listeners will greatly appreciate it as well.
Let me just say, I think what we have a lot in common, both of our entities. I think what really separates us from the people that quit or stop doing what they want to do or creating their own success that we have found is the vision with action and gratitude along the process.
I agree.
Yes.
Well said.
Yes.
The vision,
Yes.
taking action on your vision and being grateful along the process. I think that is what really sets us apart from a lot of entities growing into something huge.
Yes.
We have a very strong appreciation for you guys just coming on the podcast for the second time and for what you've created. So thank you guys for coming on again.
Man,
You're
thanks
so
for having
lovely.
us, man.
Absolutely.
No doubt about it.
You're a great
Cheers
guys.
to the crawl, baby.
Cheers to
Yes.
the crawl.
We'll be there in November. Let's do it.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
And I'm just going to point out.
Okay. She's bragging. It's gonna fall
All
anytime
right.
here, guys.
I'm just going to say.
In case that you guys forgot, as always, make sure that you're subscribing on YouTube right over there. But you guys can point up. It's right above your head.
Right-
There it is.
right there.
YouTube's right,
Right
there.
there. Right
Instagram. Where's Instagram gonna be?
Right there.
Right there.
And the
Oh,
links
it's
are
right
not
there.
in the description.
Right there.
Instagram's right there. Links are in the description.
They're not in the description.
It's actually a button right there.
They
Just
are,
go ahead and
but
click on it.
still a button.
Follow us, subscribe. Anywhere that you listen to podcasts, you can find us, guys. We appreciate you so much. And as always, guys, we are going to clap this one out.
Let's do it.
Absolutely
You got to clap,
fantastic
man.
episode.
Oh, Lord.
I just missed it on that one. I just missed it.
I really thought it was going to fall.
Oh man.
Gentlemen, I am a pro at this. Calm down.
She needs to be on the longest ash.
We're gonna
We're gonna have a competition.
in December. We're gonna have a Dreamer Ash competition.
You let me know and I'll clear my
Oh
calendar.
no. Oh no.
It'll be virtual. It's submission based.
Oh, nice. Okay.
But you
Okay.
have to put a tape measure because people are good at Photoshop.
Yeah.
So we're gonna have to
That's
make sure
true.
somehow people can't.
Have a tape
You know, the
measure.
Cork Bros are gonna be like, oh, we'll edit this. We'll be like, we'll have a 20-foot long ash.
No cheating, Court Bros.
No cheating, Cork Bros.
Exactly. John's gonna be like, I got a 70-foot ash.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, mine you can assure this is
Ash hole.
well, because I'm gonna have to light it again because it's dead now. But
Well, now we're off camera, so you can go ahead.
No, even at home.
It's a.
Oh, it's on. He was waiting. John was trying to get
John's like, it's still going.
We're still live on Instagram, too.
Oh